What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey. Hey, I had to kick some people off the show. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see Chris on this episode. It's okay, though. It's okay. He ain't been getting the boot permanently. It's just he on suspensions right now. But I had to bring my guy Miles out to the show. What's good, baby? How's everything with you?
What's going on, man? Everything's been straight. You been all right?
It depends on the day.
I was about to say,
It depends on the day. It depends on the day. You know, I was playing hoops earlier, and matter of fact, I don't need to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't need to talk about that, though. But y'all might be wondering why Miles is on the show. Well, we're here to talk about a couple of sports because we're both sports fans, right? We're going to talk about the, the WNBA?
Yeah.
I think we said college football, too?
Football.
NFL?
Yeah.
All right,
a lot of news happening every day.
And so we got a lot of things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely stay tuned. Definitely keep your energy up and don't leave the show. But we're going to go ahead and jump on into it because I know y'all don't want to hear us him and Hall too much, although you will be listening to us him and Hall each quarter. But we're going to go right on to those quarters. So, you got anything you want to say before we start?
No, man. Just looking forward to the discussion, for real.
All right. Bet. I appreciate you. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it, ladies and gentlemen.
DC the beat man.
All right, we are, here. It's the first one. So look, WNBA, right? Y'all see the jersey. I got on a WNBA jersey, per usual, right? Per usual. Shout out to the Aces, Asia Wilson specifically. Has it been entertaining for you?
It has.
The season's been entertaining?
I will say.
Okay. What's been the most entertaining aspect this season for you personally?
I would say both the play on the court and then also just the amount of buzz that the WNBA, given some of it's been positive, some has been negative, but at the end of the day, it's still attention on the sport. So it's like, I've liked both aspects of seeing, like the gameplay, in my opinion, I won't say improved because it's always had talent there, but it's just been seeing it a lot more. It's been nice. It's been nice.
I don't have anything else to add, ladies and gentlemen. It's been extremely nice. I just hate the casuals that it's brought along. I love the casuals that it's brought along for the viewership.
True.
But the BS that we hear, I don't know, like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. I was actually tempted to wear one of their jerseys today, brother. I didn't want to, though, because I didn't want to show no bias, no favoritism towards not one. But I did buy both jerseys. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I got both of their jerseys,
That's
though.
Real.
But they have caused some controversy, and I appreciate it because it kind of reminds me of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson.
Fact.
Right? We get some racial talking points with these girls, long story short, right? It's almost to the point where I even think, you know what, depending on your view of Caitlin Clark, you either a casual fan or a racist. Like, that's just how I personally view it now. No, seriously, man. Like, so I got to get on soapbox real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, but I made a post about Sabrina Ionescu. I thought it was a wonderful video, right? Like, it was a good one. She made a bucket off her knee in an actual basketball game. Tip of the cap. Notice I said Sabrina Ionescu, and why in the world are we going to bring up Angel Reese not making a bucket? For starters, she averaged about 12, 13 points right there, so clearly she can make a bucket. Like, we lying out here, but like, stuff like that, completely unnecessary. If you want to talk about how maybe she made 3 out of 16 threes for the season, okay, cool, I hear that, but
it makes sense.
She's not a three-point shooter either, at all. And we don't say anything about Caitlin Clark's blunders at all, but we hype her up greatly.
Thanks.
Did you have a preference for Rookie of the Year? Because again, I think they both deserved it.
True.
But did you have a preference? Like, was there a unanimous Rookie of the Year for you?
In my opinion, if Angel Reese doesn't get hurt, no.
Okay.
Can't be. But I do think that Caitlin still wins it. I just think it wouldn't have been unanimous, no holds bound when it comes to that. But I'd still give her just a little bit of a nod. They're different types of players, but I still give her that MVP. In terms of what you think?
So at the halfway mark, I said whichever one makes the higher seeding for playoffs wins it. End of day. Angel gets injured, so and the Sky missed the playoffs. It's tough though because Caitlin actually had
almost argue that she got hurt and that's what ruined their playoff chances. You could make that argument.
You could definitely make that argument. Also, we don't talk about how Angel played with how many All-Stars versus Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark leads that battle too. So, and then for people who talk about stats all the time, there's this wonderful thing called win shares. I don't know if y'all looked at it. Last time I checked though, for the regular season, Angel Reese had higher win shares than Caitlin Clark. Now that doesn't definitively mean that, they're the better player.
True.
But like if you look at a team like, let's say for example, the Aces, spoiler alert, this will be coming up in the video I'm going to create soon. But like if you look at those win shares where like A'ja Wilson, she was at like 10.9 or something like that. And then after that you saw the flow. So I'm just saying there is some level of acceptance with these win shares. So if Angel Reese had a higher win share, for those who harp solely on stats, give it up. Because there's a case for why Angel Reese should be higher than Caitlin Clark. But
True.
I do also agree with you. I think I lean Caitlin Clark as well, too. Granted, from how she was actually played.
Yeah.
Both were double teamed. But I think as a ball handler, it's tougher to be doubled as opposed to on the block. Because I could just throw that ball up, and there's a chance it still go in.
Because of where you at.
Yeah, I don't care how far she's shooting, bro. Like, she has to pass that ball because you shooting off a double team like that, that's vicious. From deep like that, that's crazy. I don't know. But, so Rookie of the Year for you was Caitlin Clark then. Let me take it up another notch then, brother.
Okay.
MVP. Was she your MVP then? Because a lot of people have said that she should be just off the viewership that she brought up, which we both highlighted.
Now, I'll say this. If you want to include impact on the game, in terms of that counting towards MVP, I say you definitely make a case for her being up there just because of the level of what they brought. But you can also, like I said, if Angel Reese was healthy, you could put her in that same conversation. But for sake of the conversation, I think, if you include that, you can call her or at least make a case for her because of what she brought. Granted, the ones that were in the final run and they capitalized on it, but it makes a case for sure because she's the one who brought a lot of eyes that weren't there.
Okay. Yeah. No, like it's a regular season award.
Yeah.
It's on the court play though.
Exactly.
So like when people talk about viewership, they think about value, monetary. No, it's about value to the team. It's about value to the team, which, again, in a later video, I'll talk about her value to that team. Like, did she attribute to a lot of those wins? A lot of people say that she did. I don't think so. Someone like A'ja Wilson, no, she did attribute to those wins. Don't get me wrong. Okay. I'm saying like the majority, I got you. like Aaliyah Boston was hooping. Kelsey Mitchell was out there getting the buck. So I mean, we slight them. We make those statements. So. But someone like A'ja Wilson, though, she did win MVP.
Right.
Was that your answer then? Because you said no for Caitlin.
A'ja, she was my chosen MVP.
Y'all see the jersey.
Shout out to Jersey.
Y'all see the jersey. She did win MVP.
I got a different 22 on, but
exactly. That's our high school jersey. That's our high school jersey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what we're going to say.
That's what we gonna do. It's crazy, though. I wanted to show a little love. She did win.
For sure.
MVP. Hell of a season. Dominant, right? All that good stuff. I didn't vote for her. I'm sorry.
So wait, then who you make a case for then?
Nafisa Collier. I had to go Nafisa Collier, which to be fair, she was number 2 in the MVP voting list.
True.
And I also gave A'ja the nod for Depoy, which, Nafisa won out. So I'm glad we got a little balance. But what was your reasoning for A'ja over Nafisa?
Not that Nafisa wasn't balling because she was.
Right.
But I also think part of that had to do with her being for a small market team, that you didn't get to see her as much as you saw A'ja Wilson. But in my opinion, A'ja Wilson she was on a tear. She was out to prove that she was the best. And with what happened the year before going into this year, as dominant as she played and the level of impact, because the Aces, even right now, they're struggling. They finished the year middle of the pack. And I honestly feel like she was the will of that team to get them even in the position they were. Not that they didn't have talent around, because they do, but in terms of the most dominant player, like, you knew you were what you were getting out of her consistently. I have to give her the nod.
I can agree with you, because, like, word choice was key. Word choice is key for me. Like so many. That's why I said, like, unanimous rookie of the year. Like, because like she won. Like, we agree, she won
Right.
rookie of the year, but unanimous, right? So, like, the willed the team. When I think saying, like, willed the team, I think it's like a slight towards her teammates. But I can't say that as well too, because again, she was really dominant. Like the numbers she threw up, bro. Like, you could say, yeah, she willed her team. So I'm not mad at that statement at all, at all. Would you call her then the best player in the WNBA?
And that's because I'll admit, I'm more of a position guy. Like, you're the dominant in your position, because you can't, all game doesn't translate. Just like Caitlin Clark doesn't play like Asia Wilson. But I'll say, I do feel like she is the best. I do feel like she's the best. Granted, there's like a 2A, 2B that's literally right behind her. But I do feel like she might just consistently might have that nod, because I've seen slights in others' games, but their slights not still getting a double-double. Theirs is getting a 17 and 8 or 16. And Asia's was like, nah, you can almost guarantee a double-double or something is coming. And so I still give her that nod. But it's like it's that 2A, 2B literally right there.
See, it rotates for me, because I think your 2A, 2B that you're speaking of, for me, is Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier.
Facts.
So it rotates, because last year I thought Stewie was like the best player in the game. But Stewie's the more skilled player. She's like also 6'4". She plays like a guard. Man. Asia has the best athleticism and strength combination of the two.
Yeah.
And I think Nafisa Collier's floor is just lower. I mean, like higher than their floor, I guess.
I can see that.
Because she's more versatile, I think, in ways as opposed to them. Like, she can play on the perimeter and on the block. Even though Asia Wilson and Alda Stewie had a bad season this year. Asia shot like 37% from the three. Like, she actually outshoots Nafisa Collier.
Yeah.
But on the defensive end and on the offensive end, when I think about it in totality, I lean Nafisa. So for me, it's like a three-headed monster for that one spot. And we also don't think about the fact that Nafisa Collier came back from giving birth, ladies and gentlemen, not too long ago.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that.
You just don't do that. No, you're right.
Like,
you just don't come back
wild.
and dominate the way you have. Like, they had the best record in the league for a reason. Or I think
they were second. They were second. Yeah, because Liberty had one.
Sun.
Yeah.
No, Liberty had more.
Yeah, but like that's and that speaks to it too. Because going back to the MVP thing, I said Nafisa, right, and I wanted to kind of build up the best player.
True.
I don't think the MVP means the best player, even though in this situation it involves the best players.
Right.
But I don't think it means the best player. It means who was more valuable to their team. And we spoke about how Asia was extremely valuable to her team. Like, if we go at any stat, right, like she outscored Nafisa. She out-rebounded Nafisa. Now, Nafisa got her in, steals and assists, but I think Asia got her in blocks as well, too. Field goal percentage, I think it goes to Asia. Three-point percentage, like, all these stats point to even the win shares, right? Asia Wilson played with 3 other All-Stars who also are on the Team USA. And that's overlooked. And mind you, Nafisa Collier is playing with Kayla McBride. A wonderful squad, too. But this is a 2-time defending back-to-back title championship squad that we're talking about in the Aces. Sure. And the Lynx, I didn't have them pegged to win a Commissioner Cup, let alone be a 2 seed going into the playoffs. So when I think value, and I was kind of wondering about this Lynx squad because Nafisa got hurt. And I didn't think she was going to make the actual Olympics. She came back, and she has been balling ever since. And then the last 2 times they played Asia, yeah, she dog walked her a little bit. That might be a little tough, but like, I mean, Asia got her numbers, but it won't her same numbers, bro. Like Nafisa got like, and I'd have to read off the numbers, but like it was on like 71% shooting, like 20 plus points. Like she was getting a bucket, and again, Asia didn't do her normal dominance. She got her in the first 2 games. I think she got the best of her, but the last 2 games went to Nafisa for me. So when I think about all that in totality, I hear the stats, I hear the dominant year, and it's no slight to her. I just think her teammates do kind of aid her in that regard, and I think sometimes we might overlook that. But her dominance did allow me to say I'm not going to lose no sleep over this. Nafisa didn't get robbed. She was that dominant.
True.
But brother, I was gonna talk a little bit more, but we got more quarters to talk about though. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm sorry. The buzzer went off too, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick little hiatus, come back, pay some bills, and when we come back, we got some other things. So hope y'all enjoying this, and we'll be back after a moment from our sponsors. Hair Talk.
The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation believes that routine screenings can save lives and that access to these services should not be a barrier. Our mission is to promote eye health education, free eye exams, free eye screenings, and free glasses to our communities with the focus of highlighting early detection. The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation also gives individuals with low vision and blindness the opportunities to be a part of certain community events regardless of visual impairments.
I always be forgetting my dad gonna do basketball. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know I gotta have her on deck right here. But as y'all can see, we back on the screen. College football.
This past weekend was crazy.
That was insane.
Man.
Like, because point in time, obviously y'all might not know it, but we just watched Alabama and Georgia go at it. Quite a game, actually. Kind of led to a couple of these topics here, bro. Like for starters, do you have like a best player in football, college football right now?
Best player, I've got to give the nod to Travis Hunter in terms of best player to watch that's capable literally of playing at the highest level on both sides. I just have to give him the nod.
Okay, now just to be clear.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say best player to watch after this, but you said best player to watch. So to be clear, you saying he the best player to watch and best player, or just best player to watch?
I would argue, I would say both. Say both.
Okay. Only reason why I'm asking, because I did look, and mind you, I'm not saying the ESPN got the best list, because they the same people that had Kobe 40 at one point in time. It's wild. But they did say though that the number one player in college football, hold on, give me a second, is James Pierce Jr. He's a defensive end out of Tennessee. Jr. He get any love for you or nah? Again, like defensive ends, I feel like the value kind of gets a little hype because battle one in the trenches.
I'll admit, as a Bama fan, I'm a little biased.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Solid play in terms of his position, hands down, best in his position. But in terms of, I don't know, Travis is just he's literally one of the top corners. I wouldn't even know who to make the case for against him as in terms of corner. And then he's one of the top receivers. Granted, I can make a case, an argument for other ones, but Travis is up there. He's literally in that top 5 of both. So it's hands down to me. And then that other outside, the outside of it, just as a casual fan of Colorado keeping up, that's who you want to see. So it's I gotta give it to him. The boy can play.
No, he can. He can. And he
can
brings
play,
the
man.
showmanship of it too as well. I think he talks that trash.
Yeah.
He backs it up on the field.
Exactly.
Every single week this man makes an
Consistent.
exciting play. It's
Consistent.
ridiculous. I'm curious if it'll hold up in the NFL though. But that level of play that has him slated at that third spot, at least by ESPN. So and just to note, Will Johnson out of Michigan is the other cornerback that they got slated for him. He's a sophomore, so we got to look out for Michigan's cornerback because they did all right last year. They did all right last year. You know, something slight.
I know they hurt your boys' feelings a little bit. No,
Just a smidge.
Just messing with you.
Just a smidge, but it was a lot. Hey, I appreciate us for showing a little heart because initially it looked ugly. Like Michigan, again, y'all know I'm a USC Trojan fan. Michigan had us looking a little hurt, brother. But us coming back, it helped ease my pain, but add a couple of question marks about Michigan.
Facts.
So we're going to swing the ball back your way because you said you were a Bama fan. Georgia, I thought y'all was waxing that tail. And then they said, nah. We're going to sing Ray Charles along the way.
Give credit. I got to give credit to where credit's due, man. Georgia came back. They made it into a game. They took the lead. I was nervous. And then Ryan Williams happened. But no, admittedly, I was nervous. Georgia's one of those teams, regardless of when we win or how we win, we're able to find a way. But God knows it's gonna put some hair on your chest and some gray hairs up here for real. It's crazy, man. But it definitely was an entertaining game.
No, it definitely was, and I think it was needed too, because this is the first year y'all don't have Saban.
Yeah.
So like y'all need to show some relevancy.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting a little dip off. Like I didn't expect y'all to be the Final Four.
Yeah.
And would I be surprised? No. But again, it's your first year. Like I'm a Duke fan. Y'all see my boys, and y'all know what the hell we did with John Shire year one. We was alright. But like still, we ain't win nothing though. We ain't go to the Final Four. So like, I thought it would be a little dip off. But right now, it seems like they might be in there. And I mean, I say that so that way you don't come off as biased. Do you have then a top four?
I would make my case, and this isn't in a particular order just because Bama's schedule isn't as a Bama fan. Their schedule is not, I believe they can win it all, but Lord knows it's still going to be tough. So I want to take my, fan bias out. I do have them as one of my four. I also see Georgia, just depending on the pathway, as one of my four. I also see Texas, just given the rest of their schedule, as one of my four that gets the nod, just because, in my opinion, the only team, they do play Oklahoma, which is always, it's a rivalry, so but Georgia's the only the tough game on their schedule that I think can possibly give them a loss. But I still think a loss to a top-ranked Georgia keeps them in the four. And then I see Ohio State as that other team that kind of gets this isn't who I think is going to win it all. It's more so who I think gets that first round bye.
Okay.
And I think those are the four teams.
Top four.
Ohio State, they can afford a loss to Oregon and still win the Big Ten title. And I think they're the fourth team. Even if, there's a Big 12 team or someone that goes undefeated, I still think they put them as that fourth team based on, like I said, Texas maybe losing to Georgia. And then, the SEC title, Alabama taking a loss. I see those as one of the four teams.
Okay. It's interesting. So, Texas, Alabama, Georgia. Yeah, them boys they got the nods from, like, the last group that I had on, right? Mm-hmm. That fourth spot is seeming tricky.
Yeah.
It seems tricky. I've heard Miami. You can see Miami as the fourth spot?
That's the only reason why I don't. Unless they go undefeated.
Which is possible in the
ACC. Which is possible in the ACC, which I also attest. I think the lack in terms of, everyone knows it's looking at SEC Big Ten. They're going to get the nod first.
Yeah.
I think if Miami loses to Clemson at any point in the season, if it's ACC title game, I see them getting booted out or getting Ohio State Texas, Georgia, Bama having a little more bias just because of history
Yeah.
over them. Not that they're not capable, because I do think they're definitely a playoff team. They look good. Cam Ward's been
They look
that
straight.
That
They
kid
look
can
straight.
throw. And so, like I said, based on their schedule, it's one of those things. If I think the ACC runs through Clemson, but if they lose to Clemson, that bumps them out of that top 4. But
Okay.
they still go to the playoff.
So they at least got a shot.
Yeah.
They got a chance then. How about a team like LSU?
And again, no Bama bias, but they do have to see Alabama.
Okay.
And Ole Miss, I still think, because of Ole Miss losing to Kentucky, I think when those two teams meet up, the winner of that game is going to get that second tier, maybe 10 to 12 nod. Because I think the loser of that game is going to have one more loss. No Bama bias, but I do think Alabama will beat LSU. So I think having 3 losses may bump them out just because of other teams. But they are capable of catching an upset, and that's the thing about it. I give it 2. I can give one of those number 5 in the SEC, but you only have 2 losses getting in the playoff. But in terms of in the top 4, no. But they're in the hunt for sure.
Okay. So is it at least safe to say that I guess Miami and LSU can at least make the playoffs?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Now, got to tread carefully with this one.
Uh-oh. Is it your boys?
Yeah. How about USC? USC
Actually,
Trojans. Like, what's in your estimation? Because I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to jinx us.
Look, no, I feel you. Look, if there's some wood to knock on, I will for you.
I said week 1 we was going to lose, and we won.
And
I was so happy. Like, let's go.
I'm not going to lie. I did think LSU was going to win, but the way y'all, especially defensively, that's been the difference. Y'all, like, no offense, but y'all actually seem to have a defense that y'all haven't had. If y'all had the same defense when Caleb Williams was there, y'all go to the playoff because y'all run the table on the Pac-12, in my opinion. But 1 year too late type thing. But I do see them maybe not top 4 just because of the early loss to Michigan bumping them where they are.
Okay.
But I do see them I can see them definitely getting in the playoff as one of those 12 teams. It's just, like I said, I think they can possibly run the table on the rest of their schedule. They do avoid Ohio State. It's going to be tough. I'm not saying it'll be easy because Notre Dame's still going to give them a tough game. I think they do see Oregon as well. So those, it's a toss-up. But I think if they can split those, I think at 11-2, I think they would be able to get in.
I lied. We don't see Oregon.
Oh, y'all don't?
No, we get Penn State and Notre Dame as the only ranked teams on our list. But here's my thing too, though.
Yeah.
We mess up quite often. Like we do dumb stuff.
Don't
quite
tell
often,
me I have
bro.
more faith than you do.
Nah, you do, brother. I told a whole group of fellas, look, I don't think we're gonna do well this year. Because again, my thing was Lincoln Riley. It's our head coach. He cool offensively, but he reminded me too much of Mike D'Antoni.
Okay.
Because it's like, and I hear you. Mike D'Antoni's gone to the final. Well, he ain't won no championship.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't really done, I'm about to say, like, he ain't really done much outside of, then get to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, so that kind of, like, you need a defense.
True.
But they did impress me against LSU.
Yeah.
And, like, the trenches seem straight. We might have a shot. But I'm also now worried about the execution, too, on the offensive end.
Okay.
Because we just had Caleb Williams for 2 seasons.
True.
We in college, you got like, I don't know, like, when do you get comfortable with your quarterback if he's brand new for you? Like, how many games?
Maybe 7, depending on the schedule. I feel confident by 7. I think that 5 to 7, those games where you really start to tell, okay, he's gonna pan out. Okay, maybe he's not the guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say in between those, because the first 4 games, you get the benefit of the doubt just because, depending on who you play, you're just getting into your conference schedule by that point. Maybe just 1 game, maybe 2, depending on your non-conference. So I really think, 5 to 7 kind of tells, and then by week 7, you kind of know, okay, he's gonna be the one, or we need to find another one.
That's fair. See, I'll give them maybe like halfway through the season because you got to prove it to me. But then there are special cases. Like sometimes I remember like when we had Matt Barkley.
Yeah.
I think it was we played Ohio State and we won, and it was like a nail biter too. And Ohio State was talked about pretty high.
Yeah.
And that was like his freshman year. He's a true freshman and all this stuff, and we win. I'm like, oh, we're good. Like I felt comfortable, and I knew we were gonna have him for a while.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I can't say I'm comfortable though. But so we talked about then the top 4 teams. Do you expect Colorado to make it to the playoffs? Because I gave you some opportunity to mention Colorado. I didn't hear nothing about top 4. So again, we know not top 4.
Maybe not
playoffs.
top 4. I could see the way they looked against Central Florida this past weekend. If they can continue like that,
yeah,
I can see it possibly. That's like if they do run the table on their schedule type of thing. But right now, the Big 12 is ran by the state of Utah, in my opinion. BYU and Utah kind of, in my opinion, have the more complete teams. And I think another loss or 2 losses to both of those teams, they still have a great bowl game, 9-3. They haven't been to a bowl game in years. I forgot how many. It's been a while, though. 9-3, still a solid campaign for the first year in the Big 12. I think they're a threat because of the position they're in right now, but I just think BYU and Utah might be a little bit further ahead than they are.
Okay. So is this to the point where if Colorado does beat them, you might think there's some script writing?
Oh. Not so, because that's the thing. It's not so much Colorado and Shador and Travis. That combination alone. So on top of that's why I'm saying if they're 11, even a 10-2 team, because people want to see them.
That. I was about to say the narrative.
I think they still figure out a way to get that at large. Maybe not.
Okay.
But they get the 11 so that the group of 5 school can get the at large bid. I can definitely see them coming in like that. But
so they might be able to sneak in.
I think they sneak in. But they have a possibility. But I think, I don't know, BYU and Utah might get that because they beat them in that head-to-head.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, college specifically is trying to make money.
Yeah.
And we know daggone well, using Caitlin Clark as an example, viewership might go up a little bit if they see them in the playoffs, and don't let them get further. Oh my God, Dion on prime time.
It's over with, bro.
Yeah, man, that makes some solid.
They make the semifinals. College world will be flipped on his head, and then the narrative. And I know we may talk about it, but the narrative of him going to the NFL afterwards.
I was gonna say it just makes it that much more alluring. Like, oh yeah, brother, I might as well. Why not? Right? But like, look, ladies and gentlemen, y'all heard him. We are going to have to transition on to another segment. The bell did go off, right? So a buzzer, I'm sorry. It's not a bell. But what we're going to do is take a quick hiatus, pay some bills, come back, maybe have a little drinky poo. We'll see. And talk some more sports. But hope y'all enjoying it. And we'll be right back after a moment from our sponsors.
Swanky's Construction serves as the general contractor in the metropolitan D.C. area. We're a team of certified professionals who tackle everything from complex large projects to smaller scale jobs. Fueled by our commitment to excellence, we go the extra mile to make sure clients are completely satisfied with our work. Swanky's Construction takes pride in ensuring our clients' home improvement needs are met with efficiency, precision, and perfection. Call us today. You're only seconds away from a consultation or in-person walkthrough. Hooping is an activity that can be enjoyed by all. It's a team game about getting and stopping buckets. Everyone's always rushing to the gold. Well, make sure to rush and watch Team Gold Rush, one of the best teams in the Special Olympics of Virginia. Team Gold Rush even has former NBA All-Star participants on the team. Clearly, they've struck gold. Ready to suit up and practice? I know. We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice still makes perfect. So when the opponent starts hitting their shots, Team Gold Rush can bounce back due to their training. Remember, offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. Watch us get a bucket and rush for the gold. We aim to be that gold standard. So want a team where you can win and have fun? Team Gold Rush is your number one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And the basketball never wants to stay where okay, it's cool. I get you. You do what you want to do, right? NFL. We had a different quarter, obviously. Who's your top team? Like, top team in the NFL right now. Like you think these boys about to win the Super Bowl. That don't mean they going to, but they just give you that feeling.
I hate to say this. The Chiefs.
Again? Hey, bro.
And it's not so much because they can, but right now, I don't know they're clicking. I think they get the bye at the rate and pace that they're going. I think they get the bye. I think it's just going to work out again because if they get matched up against certain teams, but I literally, as a Ravens fan, I mean, because I got a Derrick Henry jersey on right now. I just know.
I mean, so week 1, y'all lost, but barely though. Like it was a toe, bro.
True.
So like, and if y'all get a little bit more cohesion, I personally think your offense has the scariest duo.
Yeah.
In the NFL. Oh my gosh, it's called Get a Bucket. Y'all basketball center. My bad, my first love. But like, can y'all get over that hump? Because I do think you have Likely?
Yeah.
And you got oh my gosh, why am I forgetting the other boy's name? Come on now. Mark Andrews.
Okay.
I don't know why I was forgetting him, and it's crazy because I always draft him in fantasy. This is the first year why I didn't. Maybe that's the reason why. But y'all got a good squad. Zay Flowers is out there.
Yeah.
And at least as of right now, the Chiefs, they lost weapons.
True. But I also feel like they were smart in drafting Xavier Worthy.
Not fast.
He fits their system in terms of the type of speed that he brings to the table for their offense still. Travis Kelce and Mahomes are still the duo.
They there.
And my thing is, even as a Ravens fan, they haven't proven it to me.
Okay.
And I think either when they get to the playoffs, Lamar starts trying to stay in the pocket a little more when I feel like he should be running a little bit more in some situations. I feel like when the ball ends up in Mahomes' hands, if it's late in the game, he's going to get the job done. He's shown it consistently. And even as a trust me, I would love to see them lose, but it's just like he's that X factor. He has that killer mentality, even though he doesn't see, he just has it. And so I give them that slight nod only because of that. Not that the Ravens aren't capable, because they've got the talent. It's just, you've got to do it.
So I hear that. I just think y'all have the kryptonite to the Chiefs. Because, all right, let's say Lamar does want to stay in the pocket now.
Okay.
He does have Derrick Henry to hand the ball off too. So, like,
Facts.
if I got to worry about Derrick
Facts.
Henry running, and I'm not saying he's the best pass catcher.
Right.
But, like, you know, he can do this and
right.
run.
He can get a bubble screen or a little flat out, yeah.
So if we can get there, now I think Lamar has another option because the defense has more focus on Henry.
Yeah. No.
And you still got those targets to worry about in Likely, in Andrews, in Zay Flowers.
True.
So if I got the defense spread out and I got someone worried about Henry too, it's just one person I got to deal with, and this man is elusive as hell. Man, so it's kind of tough to tackle him.
It is.
So I do, and I appreciate him wanting to be in the pocket.
Yeah.
Because from a longevity standpoint, he has to.
Facts.
So, like, at least he's getting comfortable. I think y'all have the pieces around to get over that KC hump. But, like, let me ask you this, because I don't know if Kansas City the only team that should be worried about. What about a team like the Jets? And the only reason why I say the Jets is you talk about the quarterback in Patrick Mahomes.
True.
We've talked about Aaron Rodgers, the same situation. Now, he's a little older, came back off injury, right? Maybe need to shake off some rust. But he's been the best quarterback talent-wise that we've seen outside of Patrick Mahomes. And maybe even then, it could be an argument. It could be debatable. But with that, and he's in the right situation. He has that defense. Again, this is the perception. He has the weapons around him.
And they're
Are we
one
sleeping
of
on them?
my dark horse teams in terms of that regard. Granted, I think their run game hasn't shown me enough
Okay.
to like consistently for them to be like, okay, when they see the Chiefs have to respect that on top of the dynamic because they've got receivers. It's Aaron Rodgers. Their defense is solid. I just think the Chiefs can get away with not respect because Brees Hall didn't do that much, and it's like he has had moments, but it's not consistent to where I feel like they really see him as a threat as you would like the Ravens with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why I might nod them. But another team, the Saints, in my opinion, they've actually looked granted, that Atlanta game was one thing, but I think the run game that they have makes them interesting. They're a dark horse for the playoffs for sure. Not all the way, but I think they're capable of, depending on matchups, they're capable of doing something.
I could see them being similar to like the Lions last year.
Right.
I like Derek Carr actually as a leader. Like honestly, I like when people cry on national television personally. That's just me though. But if you cry, we cool. But the Saints have enough defense, I think, to help them out offensively. They got enough offense. It's just not special enough to win that Super Bowl.
True.
That's my only thing.
I agree.
That's the only thing. So knowing that they don't have enough stars, that's my hesitation.
I get that. And that's kind of my similar. The Jets don't have a star running game.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying they're on that caliber of they can make the playoff, but I don't see them getting over that hump. They can make a case and make a good game. I don't know.
So what about a team then like the Bills? Because I don't think they have a star outside of Josh Allen. That's what I was trying to go to. They got rid of Stephon Diggs. And I think this is an interesting take too. Because I think there is a point where you do need to let go of your star and rebuild, especially if you have a duo. Yeah. Like using the Lakers as an example. I'm not saying they were on that level,
right?
But we had to choose one, unfortunately. Because of age and like the game of football, I think you do have to choose one, especially if you haven't won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Can the Bills can Bills Mafia have something to be proud of?
I think Bills Mafia is going to stay the same, but in terms of just like hanging their hat on getting to conference championship to get to the Super Bowl.
No Super
I feel
Bowl.
like one of those teams that we were talking about earlier, like that on the cusp team will be one to kind of clip a team with just one superstar who's trying to figure it out. Not necessarily saying he's doing it alone, but I don't think he has the pieces to go all the way. And I think one of those teams that's a little bit more hungrier will end up catching them before they even get to that point. So it'll be interesting though for sure.
Okay.
But I think they got to find someone. You're not going to find someone to replace Stephon Diggs, but you got to find someone to be that guy consistently.
Yeah, the consistently one option. I respect that. I respect that. Next, so then, if the Bills got questions. I mean, the Lions, we did bring them up. I think they got that one option.
Yeah.
Now, the quarterback play, I'm not going to say it's suspect, but I'm not going to say he's average either. Like, he's somewhere in between, elite and average. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was the same way with Sam Bradford and all them boys. Can Goff get the job done with the Lions? Like, the Lions winning a Super Bowl is crazy to hear. Because them boys, weren't they just like 0-16 or something?
Not very long ago either. And like I said, they're one of those teams, man, in terms of that I think can make that challenge. Mm-hmm. Do I see them? Maybe one of those other teams, like I said, the Chiefs being that kind of front runner for it. Mm-hmm. But I do see them making a definite case to make a run. So they're one of my dark horses too in terms of really, like I said, that hungrier type team that they've got a gritty coach. Right. The team's kind of built around like we're gonna try and get it done, and they've got talent. It's not just a Williams. It's like they've got the talent. So it's I definitely could see them though.
I can from an X's and O's standpoint. Yeah. Problem is, after last season, I do think there might be a little bit of script writing involved. Like, shout out to Taylor Swift. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got that sense in them, so I don't know, bro. Like I got to see them.
She gonna perform at halftime with Kendrick at the Super Bowl.
I got to see what happens with the Lions, man. But from a team standpoint, they hit those check boxes. Like the coach, I love the coach. Like again, anybody who cries on national television, I rock with. So I do like the Lions. It's just something about them where I'm like, I might not. I'll put money on them on FanDuel just in case.
Just in case it hits, right?
Just in case. No disrespect. But ladies and gentlemen, what we're gonna do, because y'all heard the buzzer go off. We're gonna try to stay on script this one. What we're gonna do is take a quick hiatus. Come right back though, but we do gotta pay some bills. So we'll be right back. Which we also gotta figure out why we gotta pay so many damn bills. Every episode is bills. It's crazy. Bills. But we'll be right back after a moment from our sponsors.
Sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. Whether with coworkers, friends, family, we all love the entertainment. Well, here on Get a Bucket, my goal is to talk about sports and its cultural impact. The WNBA, for example. The WNBA is loads of entertainment, from the new rookies battling, displaying their skill sets, and preparing to take the league by storm, to the Titans and the MVPs of the league clashing for battles we'll always remember. From imagining the soon-to-be possibilities to admiring and treasuring the finales. Get a Bucket is a platform where other sports analysts, hoopers, coaches, and fans of the show come and talk about the WNBA, both negatives and positives. So if you haven't, take a quick peek. At the very least, you'll have a good time. Remember, sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. So please, tune in and stay connected.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Now, as y'all can see, I had the basketball properly situated, right? Finally, like it's about damn time, you know what I'm saying? And we talking about the NBA. So, fortunately, we might not be talking about my boys. But we will though, because we do have some NBA draft picks to choose from on our squad this season. But there's a lot of storylines to follow in the NBA this season coming up.
Especially with what just happened. You're talking about Cat to the Knicks.
So let me ask you this. Is that your top storyline to follow for you personally?
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally.
No.
Okay.
I'll say this. Me personally, because I'm a Spurs fan, that's my NBA team. I'm curious to see CP3 and Wemby work together. Granted, I wish CP3 was a few years younger, but I think with him on that squad, it gives them a shot to be one of the play-in teams. Not a deep run playoff, but I think they're one of those on the cusp in terms of playing with him on that team. Granted, like I said, I wish he was younger, but that'll be the one I follow. But in terms of like contender-wise, man, there's so many options, bro. You could go easily 5 deep on the West, 6, 7 deep on the East. What's your thoughts on that?
5 deep is a little interesting. I like Miami. I want to see a little something different out of Jimmy, only because I think Bam has reached a level.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jimmy's dipped. Now, he seems a little bit more focused, especially after what Pat Riley was saying.
True.
But, a team like the Heat, Celtics are still there, right?
Exactly.
They're defending champions. But the bench, though, okay, let's see what happens this go round too. Because to be fair, they had some luck last year.
Yeah.
They had some luck, but they did what they were supposed to.
Exactly.
Philly looks good. Knicks supposed to look good on paper. So there's some teams, Bucks.
And that's why I'm saying, depending on matchup, that's what I see in terms of those teams. You got 6 or 7 teams that possibly, based on who they get, you can't forget about the Cavs are going to be one of those on the bubble teams. So you'll see them in the first round against somebody. The Magic look good. It's interesting just because I feel like the matchups kind of, you got teams based on if they finish well and they get that 2 seed or maybe 3 seed and play that weaker matchup that favors them, they might can make a run. That's why it's like everyone kind of has a case in the East almost. And that, well, I wouldn't say everyone, but that it's like 6 or 7 teams that you, depending on who they see, I definitely can see them possibly being a team to go.
Okay. In terms of storylines,
What's that?
I wanted to focus on every Olympic player this season.
Okay.
Only because I feel like every time players on the Olympic team go back to their team, they usually blossom. Something beautiful happens for them, right? And I'm looking at the squad. Celtics had a lot of players on their team. Yeah. And I think Jason Tatum has a chip on his shoulder. And that's crazy to hear. And then the finals MVP has a chip on his shoulder. So that narrative. Or Donovan Mitchell feeling like him being left off maybe this year. But even the 2028 projection for Olympics, he has a chip on his shoulder. And like him and Jason Tatum just got paid. So like the narratives around the people who made the Olympics and the snubs. I would love to see. I'm going to be following those specific players because going forward too, I mean, these are like they're making the cases for the 2028 Olympics. And like it starts literally now. Bam Adebayo. Yeah. Great seat. You could lose your spot. Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, you could lose your spot. So y'all need to dominate. And you can only be one champion. So it's not a matter of championship. It's a matter of how hard you play, effort. True. How are you dominating? Stuff like that. Like if you're not giving max effort that we can see, if you're playing inconsistent, I don't know. And a lot of players can't have a lot of excuses. Embiid, you got Maxey and PG.
Facts. There's that window of opportunity. I feel like for Philly, they've got 2 years tops to try and bring one home before I think they do something else to kind of bust that whole thing up. Not that I think Maxey may go anywhere, but bare minimum, I think PG, you've got probably 2 solid years from PG to try and window of opportunity, take advantage of, getting all the way and winning the finals before I think they try and make some more moves. And then it's not a full rebuild, but at that point, I feel like Embiid might be too little too late. You got a lot of teams up and coming now that are gunning for like young talent. The Pacers aren't, not that I think they're there, but they're definitely a threat to anybody. You still got the Heat with Jimmy Butler on the revenge type thing. So you still got Dame Lillard's running out of time himself. So it's like, I think their window with the talent they have, I give them 2 years with it, and you better do something.
Okay. See, it's interesting because I see, like, for example, Paul George. I could see him actually going to a team like the Hornets after this stint. But it's because a player like Brandon Miller spoke about how he idolizes PG. And I see how Anthony Edwards wants to play with Kevin Durant. I kind of feel like they made some of these trades to bring Kevin Durant to the Wolves. Like, I genuinely feel that way.
I think Kevin Durant gets his ring, his other ring, if he goes to the Timberwolves.
And see, like, I want to see what pieces they get too, because the Sun also want to get some pieces back.
Exactly.
So, like that's going to be a little interesting. But again, that's all building up to that 2028 Olympics, because KD could play then. Yeah. Anthony Edwards is supposed to star then. We could get a player like even like as young as Cooper Kupp. True. I mean, not Cooper. I'm sorry, Cooper Flag.
Not NFL. I get what you're saying though. Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of things that can happen over these 4 years. But if folks are starting to make good headway now, okay. Like if you, let's say, using Chelsea Gray as an example, she got injured this past season, right? Mm-hmm. But she still played during the season. But a lot of people were saying, oh, she's not better than Caitlin Clark. Right. But still, she put in that body of work over the last 3 years where, she has to start. she has to play for us.
Yeah.
So it starts now with these players, and that's why that's my kind of focus. Because
that's definitely gonna be interesting to see it from that perspective.
Yeah, and I do think too the NBA wants to kind of shine light on those sort of players, right? Because it's also a business, it's entertainment. These boys
more
can
money. Exactly.
End of day. But speaking of more money, though, we talked about Caitlin Clark earlier, right? And how she was, drawing, getting more revenue. Who would you say is the most valuable player from a financial standpoint, in your opinion, present day? I think a lot of times people might have said Braun, and that's fair,
right?
If you still say that's I can't be mad at that. But is that still true today, for you at least?
I think as an individual player, no. But with what he has with his son being on the team, I think you can easily make a case because that's the first time it's ever, regardless, positive, negative. I think because of what that story is in and of itself, like you never say, like he's playing with his kid. Like they're teammates. So everything they do in the NBA is going to be a first. I think, granted, there are more, I wouldn't say more, but there are other superstar icons that they can show Anthony Edwards. You can show Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You can show some of those other kind of guys. But I think with LeBron's legacy leading up to this point, it's going to be hard. Every game, you're going to talk about Brown. You may not always talk. Ja Morant, as quickly as things fell off for him, as much as he was supposed to be what Anthony Edwards is right now. In my opinion, that was what they were pushing him to be. And so when you see that, it's like LeBron's legacy already carries a story. And now with Bronny here, the positive and negative scrutiny, you might not can beat that right now. You're going to have some that compete with it, but he's too consistent still. Like he's still in, I wouldn't say his prime, but he's still a piece that you can use definitely to win a championship. It's not like when Jordan was 40 and it was like,
I ain't gonna have that slander now, because it's different days.
It was different days.
And then he ain't played with no AD.
True,
See, now he got me going down the rabbit
for sure.
But
I'm
I get
saying
you though.
in the sense of
what he's doing right now, is immaculate. Because we can come up with a bevy of reasons as to why Jordan didn't do so. Okay, well, he was supposed to be playing with Elton Brand and stuff like that. It didn't happen. We got Kwame Brown. Cool. Point of the matter is, we weren't able to go to the playoffs. I remember, what was it, Vince Carter or AI kicking you out of that 8th spot. So and mind you, we at least went to the Western Conference Finals. Now we have not been able to beat that Nugget squad, but Braun has been hooping. And I hear people saying it's the empty calorie stats. Oh, well, he not giving us a solid production as he used to. I mean, Buddy kind of 40.
All right.
I'm not really. I don't want him to be
to be 27 and 40. I don't expect anything. But I feel like the way he's adapted in terms of his game and with what he is in terms of how he contributes. Granted, the Nuggets are a matchup nightmare for them in general. I just think they outposition them and they neutralize LeBron. Not that Aaron Gordon's better than him, because I don't think that. It's just that they neutralize him and everyone else is literally just a little bit better than everybody else in their position, where it's just they don't have an answer for that. And
it's crazy because I hear so much D'Lo slander against us. D'Lo's the problem. I don't think D'Angelo Russell is the problem when we have been losing to the Nuggets since before he got there too.
Thank you.
That is not solely him. It's a matchup nightmare for us. So the Wolves did really well, but I think we could actually beat the Wolves.
I think so too.
So it's not D'Angelo Russell's fault. It's just a matchup nightmare across the board. The Nuggets are a really good team. Let me ask you this: Nuggets, Celtics, back-to-back defending champs. Not one of the team, but 23 and then 22.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 24 and then 23.
Right.
They match up in this upcoming finals. Who would you take? Because that's a realistic possibility at this point in time.
It definitely is. And I give the Nuggets the nod, but I give it bare minimum. There's no way it doesn't go 7, but I give the Nuggets the nod just because I think their post-game matchup favors the Nuggets. And I think, not that Porzingis can't ball, but Jokic is a floor general as a center. Okay. And so that Jamal Murray, he can be neutralized in a way, but I think Denver's bench is a little bit deeper. And then their position players that they've got, I think, like I said, I think it goes 7 for sure. But I've also seen Tatum go flat. I've seen those guys. And the Nuggets, not that they go flat, you've seen them get outplayed. And that's, I think I give them the nod just in a 7-game series. But I think it goes the distance for sure.
Okay. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like Jokic dominating the series. He's going to get his numbers.
For sure.
AG being able to match up with Tatum, that's going to be an interesting matchup. Man. JB kind of showed me, though. I think he'll shut down Jamal Murray. Like Anthony Edwards at 6'4".
I want to see that matchup, too.
Like Jaylen Brown 6'6". And I think we get similar defensive capabilities. I'm not saying who's better. I'm just saying similar capabilities.
No.
And I saw Jamal Murray struggle. He had 2 good games and then like a solid one as well. But like, unless MPJ snaps, granted Russell Westbrook is there, so that might add a little something. But I've seen Jamal Murray supposed to be like a shooter. And I'm talking about Team Canada,
right? And
it didn't look the same. I didn't get the same feel that I thought I was going to get. So. Because of that, I might have some question marks around the Nuggets against that Celtics squad.
But even with Westbrook around, with that wanting to get, because I think this is his best shot with them.
No, best shot. That's tough. I thought his best shot was with the Clippers before Harden.
Okay.
Before Harden.
I can argue that too.
But if you get that small sample size Clippers, Russell, paired with this Nuggets, I think he can replace KCP. It's just now Jamal Murray has to shoot the way KCP did.
Right.
Because Russell has to be the defender. Mm-hmm. But then Jamal has to be off ball. And he was doing that pick and roll duo action with him and Jokic. True. So now, am I going to have Aaron Gordon or Russell Westbrook shooting the ball? As a team, I'm comfortable with either. Because now they're away from the basket. Mm-hmm. And now, like, that's not their strength. Aaron Gordon improved. Russell Westbrook improved.
True.
A little bit. It's not their strength. So, I don't know. That's tough. But again, going back to Jokic, he is able to stretch the floor out. And Russell Westbrook can rebound the ball pretty well. Aaron Gordon, he can rebound the ball pretty well. But looking at the Celtics, though, so can Drew. So can Derek.
That's true.
So can JT.
And that's the thing. They got a squad, man.
They do. And then the bench, like, that's the only thing. If Russ can, like, kill the bench, then maybe I can see something. Yeah. But it'll be an interesting one. It'll be an interesting one. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I think if you could speed up your Spurs, maybe like 2 seasons,
man,
that could be something. I like y'all construction.
Same.
I do. I think your construction is going to be similar to the Nuggets because the pieces y'all have, I think, actually carry forward going forward. Only thing is, I don't know if y'all going to have like an Aaron Gordon in your lineup, like meaning like you're going to have to find that.
Exactly.
But outside of finding that I like how y'all have Stephon Castle, you guys just drafted. Yep. Victor Wembanyama's there. CP3, who you mentioned. That's a good narrative to follow as well. I actually want to throw CP3 in the MVP consideration as well, too.
You think so?
Think about OKC and Shea. I personally fell off of CP3 in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's going to be in there, but I could see it only because I do think you guys are going to surprise some folks and be in the play-in
for sure
conversation. Maybe even that 8th spot, like definitively 8th spot. But
no, when you mention it that way, especially with the fact on a team like this, if they're going to have a chance, he's going to have to be a double-double average. And especially with someone like Wemby, who he can distribute the ball to.
He should.
He should be. And so that's going to be the thing. He can make that dark horse case for it, going at 18 and 11 in terms of assists. And so, especially at that age, and they get in the play-in, you definitely have to, because he would literally be that piece that I feel like connects for that system.
Yep.
Like, so that's why I wish, man, if he was just 3 years younger, it would have been...
It would have been lethal.
For sure.
But I think right now you could have a Steve Nash MVP season.
Yeah.
Because, like that Sun squad, when he came back and, like, turned it around.
Right.
I could see the Spurs having an above 500 West kind of tough, but above 500 don't
Man,
sound stupid.
The West is
It's
stacked.
kind of tough, but it don't sound stupid. It don't sound stupid. I would love to have like a 1 through 16 playoffs though, because I actually y'all have a better shot at getting in that way.
You want to learn about that?
I can't wait to playoffs. Look, before we go,
Yeah.
do you have a championship like favorite? Like you talking about FanDuel right now? You putting your hard-earned money on one team,
Man,
before the season starts.
man, that's tough. If I was a Batman, I would put. Man, league so deep. It's so, but I do feel like the Nuggets get there, they would take it. Like I said, I think there's those top teams in the East would push them to 7 games for sure. But I think, like I said, if they make it there, because there are other teams, like with Julius Randle, I'm curious how that's going to go with the Timberwolves for sure.
If he stayed there, yeah.
Yeah, if he stays, because they could make some more moves. I'm curious how that gels. It's a lot of other teams, like, not that I think OKC can beat them, but they're capable. They're a dynamic team. They're young, but they're a dynamic team. They know how to play well together. So it's interesting because all the teams literally are like right there together. But I think if Denver were to make it, I think that's who, like I said, I was betting, I put my money on them.
Okay.
What about you?
See, it's tough. Last year I said the Mavs were gonna make the finals, and I said that like in June, so well before the season started. And there's something about the Mavs that make me a little. It's a little interesting about the Mavs. They just got Clay. They got the championship experience. You get a whole bunch of offense. Yeah, like I don't know. Like the Mavs for some reason kind of intrigued me. And then Philly, but I'm also really optimistic too. I'm an optimistic person when it comes to sports. I like to see the best out of people.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of the Pacers, I didn't think them boys were gonna win. I'm sorry. I did not think that. Yeah, I didn't think that in-season championship meant anything last year, or getting there at least meant anything. But yeah, those two teams out of the East and West, I'm looking at. Heat might.
They just got that. They some dogs, man.
They
you
are.
Can't count them out of anything because they're liable to beat any of those so-called top teams just because of what they built there. It's like they're capable. It's hard to see because it's like, man, all these other teams have like the stars and the talent, but I'm definitely. Heat are always one of them ones. They got it, but it's just
I think they're like you said earlier. I think they're like a season or two too late, because like everybody's trying to chase what they need, but like you need to chase you need to chase for the future, I guess.
Right.
And you need to prepare for the future, and they look at what they didn't do and think, okay, well that's gonna fix it for next season.
Right.
No, every season's different. So I think the Heat are just a smidge behind, but they got it though. Like they got the bones for it. So, but. I mean, I was like, that was good. I had to try to sneak in that last question because the buzzer definitely did go off before that. So I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But I greatly appreciate you, brother, for coming on to the show.
Man, appreciate you having me.
Did you have anything that you wanted to say before we close up shop?
Man, I'm looking forward to a lot of good sports over the next few months between NBA about to start up, college football's in full swing. We've had a lot of great games. NFL, it's a lot of things to be excited for. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Hey, there's a lot of sports. I hate that the WNBA season about to end
in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, but the NBA season starts back up, so I love that full cycle. Because there was a period of time where I get a little sad. And then football kind of helps out too. So college basketball out there, college women and men too. Oh yeah, it's some good times. It's about to be some good hoops. About to be some good sports. Huh?
You think the Liberty are going to take it?
I think they do. Like right now, I think they do.
Man,
I think they do.
Momentum's on their side, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
the Lynx still a dark horse to me.
I like the Lynx.
They still got to get through Connecticut.
Well, I think they're going to get past Connecticut. I don't know if they have enough talent to beat the Liberty. I think the Liberty have that experience. Like they were there last year. The Lynx, I think, just need a little bit more seasoning as a team. Nafisa, I think, is there. Kayla, I think, is fine. Courtney is cool. But I'm looking at the big three for the Liberty, and it's like, all right, I don't know if y'all
They're
gonna
a
stop
little too
Sabrina,
dynamic,
Brianna,
yeah.
and Jonquel. Jonquel been hitting.
Man,
That's the X factor for me. Like,
For sure.
So, but I mean, I'm not going to. I think Liberty win is. I want Liberty versus Lynx. If Liberty get to the, yeah, but Lynx can definitely win that one though, especially because Nafisa a bad girl.
Man,
She her.
she can ball.
She her.
She can
She
ball.
her. Yeah, she not. See, he trying to get me to
My
keep
fault,
going
my
on the
fault.
daggone topic. Boy, I'm trying to end the show properly.
My bad, my bad.
My bad, ladies and gentlemen. See, we just care about sports too daggone much. But listen, I hope you all have enjoyed the show. Miles, I greatly appreciate you coming on to the show. This is the first time, ladies and gentlemen. So I think you did all right. I think you did pretty smooth. You know what I'm saying? We probably go ahead and give Chris's ass the boot. Said, found a new co-host.
Oh, man.
Nah, play, but you definitely welcome anytime, though.
Appreciate
So
you, man.
that's definitely done. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you all enjoyed the show. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone who's anyone about the show. My name is Trey. That's our guest, Miles. And we hope you all have a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.